Let's give it up for Pastor Lucas tonight. We'll get you a pulpit.
Come on, somebody. Man, I wanted him to just nail that, but he got it eventually. All right. So glad that you guys are here tonight. I know my pulpit's coming out. There it is. And, man, this is a very important message. This is a very important night. Now, listen. Okay, tonight, we're continuing our series, Talent Show, and we're going to be talking about motivational gifts. Now, many of you, if not all of you, have no idea what motivational gifts are, and then you've really got no idea what your motivational gifts are. Actually, before I started studying for this message, I didn't know what the motivational gifts were, and then I had no clue what my motivational gift was. And as I started studying about this, I actually realized how important it is to not just know your motivational gift, but to operate in your motivational gift. There's actually, now these are called motivational gifts, but other people have called them grace gifts. Grace gifts. Now, these are actual gifts to you from God. And since they're from God and they're given to you, the enemy hates them. And the enemy attacks those gifts in you. The motivational gifts specifically, he attacks your motivational gifts, okay? That's why it's so important to know what your giftings are and then to operate in them, so then you're operating in the Spirit of God. So when you operate in the Spirit of God, you come alive. You come alive. Who you were born to be comes out. Man, but the enemy attacks these gifts. Now, I'm going to say some things I said last week, just to kind of give you a great intro to this again. People should be different, okay? So if you're like, oh no, I am really low and the gifting my friend is really high in, why am I such a freak? Don't worry. All these gifts have good things and all these giftings have bad things. So whatever you got, it's a gift from God. Accept it. Now listen to this. Not only should we all be different, but there's value in our differences. We talked a lot about the value in our differences last week. And listen, now, nobody is absolutely perfect. And this is what I mean by that. But you can score 100% in every category. This is crazy. So you could score 100% as a perceiver, 100% as mercy, 100% and teacher. You could actually score 100% in them. That doesn't mean you're perfect. All right? What it means is that you're gifted from God, which is a blessing, but nobody is perfect but Jesus. So you could be operating some days in your gifts, and other days you don't operate in your gifts. And those are called bad days, right? Those are the days where you feel like you've lived an opposite life. Like you just were mad at people. You got into a fight. You should have been generous, and because you like to be generous, and you were stingy that day. And you have bad days, okay? So nobody's perfect. Don't get down on yourself. And another thing here is, now you can choose to use your gift, and you can choose not to use your gift. The choice is yours, all right? Now this is crazy. Very important, though. I'll read this verse, and then we'll get into our gifts. Romans 12, 6 through 8. Now, Katie France already preached my message tonight. Must have been the Lord. Seriously, you preached my message tonight. Amazing. Romans 12, 6 through 8. It says, in his grace, like I said, these can be called grace gifts. Motivational. In his grace, God has given us different gifts for doing different certain things well. So if God has given you the ability to prophesy, or in your thing it's called perceiver, all right, then speak out with as much faith as God has given you. If you have gift in serving, serve well. If you're a teacher, teach well. If your gift is to encourage others, be encouraging. If it's giving, give generously. If God has given you leadership ability, take the responsibility seriously, Rachel Jennings. And if you have a gift of showing kindness to others, do it gladly. There you go. Do it gladly. The 7 motivational gifts. We're going to start with the first one here on my notes. Perceiver, or you could call it the prophecy guy. All right, now listen, don't be confused by this one. This isn't about doom and gloom prophecy and fighting the prophets of Baal like Elijah and Elisha had to do. That's not necessarily what perceiver means and what the prophecy kind of gift means, okay? So let's dive into what prophecy means. Now, with the gift of prophecy, this is what it is. Those with the motivational gift of the prophecy or the perceiver are the seers and eyes of the body. You're the eyes of the church, okay? They have insight, foresight, and act like watchdogs in the church. They can warn of sin or evil. So if you are a perceiver in here, you can actually tell when some of your friends are making bad choices and they're starting to live a way you know they shouldn't be living, and you can perceive it just by listening to them and seeing how they respond and their body language and how long it's taken them to respond to your text. You can sense something isn't quite right. So that's not necessarily the kind of prophet that you think you might be, but who scored high in perceiver? Raise your hand. Okay, so you can tell when something is quite not right, and you will call it out. All right? You'll call it out. You'll call it out. You'll see it, and you'll want to talk about it, okay? Now listen, these people, they're usually very verbal and may come across as judgmental and impersonal. They are loyal to truth over friendship, and they are serious and dedicated kind of people. So they're willing to lose a friend so the truth could be told to them. They'll say something like, hey, I know you're not going to like what I'm about to say, but boy, you're stupid. and you know what you're talking about. You can see it. You can sense it. It's right there. Now, in some cases, perceivers do not realize their gift. Listen, perceivers do not realize their gift, and they can become very critical of other people or situations, which emerges as a pessimistic attitude. This is what a perceiver needs to do. If you're a perceiver, understand that you've been given a gift from God, and it is not to be used to judge, but it's to be used to pray. If you're a perceiver and you sense things aren't right, or you see something happening and you say to yourself, boy, I could do this way different and it would come out way better. Like, let's just say you watch an event happen. Maybe you went to a birthday party and you're like, why did they serve the cake first? And why didn't, they should have done this and this and this and this, and then the cake, and then presents, and then given the kids all toys as they walked out the door, and boy, this party would have been a lot better. And see, what happens is to the perceivers is that if they're not careful, the enemy will use that to create them to be really judgmental and really quite nasty. You see what I'm saying here? So that's why these gifts are so important, to understand your gift and then operate it on a spiritual, healthy level. So if you're a perceiver, you need to pray. You see a situation that's not quite right, don't jump into it right away, but take a couple steps back and realize I've got a gift from God. I can see something's not quite right here. I need to pray and then come at the situation a few days later. Understand me? So that's why these gifts are so important. The enemy recognizes your gift even if you don't. The enemy knows that you're gifted and in the area you're gifted, and will try to manipulate you to operate in the exact opposite way that God has gifted you in. That's why to understand and work in these gifts is so important for your life. So people who don't operate in their grace gifts or their motivational gifts are depressed, dark, suicidal, and nasty people. But the ones who operate in their gifts are happy, full of love, joy, and peace. And they have an optimistic view of life. So the enemy wants to destroy you by getting you to live in the exact opposite way that God has gifted you to live. And I'll prove it here as we continue on in this. So, you are a perceiver. Raise your hand if you're a perceiver. Okay, I'm a perceiver. I'm a perceiver. So I can read scriptures and they can come alive to me, and I can know exactly how to implement them to help you. That's a perceiver, way he would preach or that he would teach, okay? So congratulations if you're a perceiver. Very judgmental. Congratulations. Very jerky. Congratulations on that, guys. All right, number 2, we're going to talk about ministering, the serving, the helps. This is different kinds of things that we can call them. Go to the next one on the screen so they can see it. Boom. Didn't do it. What's wrong with you? Say I'm a perceiver. Now, why wouldn't you do that? I don't know. Maybe there's computer issues. Maybe he fell asleep. Maybe his finger hurts. He can't click the button. I'm very judgmental right now. There it is. But it just went up there. See, I just need to step back and pray. Lord, did he faint? Does he need water? Lord, help me understand the situation here. So here you go. I'm operating in my gift in a negative way. You watched it happen. All right, number 2, ministering, serving, or helps. Congratulations if you got this gift. Those with the motivational gift of serving are the hands of the body. So if you're a perceiver, you're the eyes, right? If you're serving, you're the hands. They're concerned with meeting needs. They're highly motivated. They are doers. Boy, you love to work. Work, 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 like Rihanna says. They may tend to overcommit, though, but find joy in serving and meeting short-term goals. You are a list person. You love a list. Boy, if your boss hands you a list of things to do, you are just coming alive on the inside. You're like, whoo, I know what to do, and I know how to do it. And I'm going to do it good, too, because I'm a worker. I'm a server. Servers show their loyalty through action rather than words. Okay? So they're not very wordy like a perceiver would be, but you're more action-oriented, okay? Quiet, and that's fine, okay? But you show love through serving. And so, boy, if someone in here is, the love language is acts of service, and you marry a server, you're going to be one of the most happiest people ever. Congratulations. Okay, so if you're a server, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. I'm looking. Oh, look at that. Man, these two right here just got married, and they're both servers? My gosh. I bet your house is clean. Is it clean? Yeah, is your car's clean? Oh, good job. Wow. Server, you need help. You need to help them. Get in there. Show your love. Show your love. Come on, do your thing. All right, I actually had guessed that Aaron Malmquist was a server, and Aaron is right there, and he raised his hand. I had guessed that he was a server just by being with him for the last number of years. He's been in the internship for a couple years now, and he really, truly is a server. He's quiet, but he gets things done. Boy, he gets things done. And he works hard. And he can be, like gone all day. You won't see him, but you're confident that he's working hard. Some people can be out of sight all day and you're worried. You know what I'm saying? Like, why haven't I seen that intern for like 4 hours? I know they're napping somewhere. But Aaron, there's no way ever that you would catch him napping. Why? He's a worker. He's a server. He comes alive when he serves. And it's true. He is a server. He likes to do things. Now, listen. So if you're a server, you will come alive and find joy when you operate in this gift. Okay? So if you scored high on this thing, highest on this one, and you're not serving anywhere, chances are you feel, what words I want to use, you'll feel inadequate right now in life. You'll feel like you're not giving to society. And you'll feel dark on the inside. You will feel a bit depressed with your life. If you scored high in a server, you're not doing anything right now, boy, you're going to feel unsatisfied on the inside. And maybe you didn't know why you feel unsatisfied. You don't know why you feel maybe like, not quite right for the last couple of months or maybe years if you haven't been doing much. It's because you haven't been serving and working, okay? Can you see this? See how this works here? That's why these are so important. All right, number 3, teaching. The gift of teaching. Those with the motivational gift of teaching are the mind of the body. They realize their gift is foundational. They emphasize accuracy of words. They love to study. They delight in research. Man, they want to validate the truth. It makes them come alive on the inside. Teachers are those who need to carry pocket-sized tape recorders so that they can record brand new information at a moment's notice. Woo! Sounds fun, doesn't it? To them it is. Now, who here is a teacher? Now, this person hasn't taken the test yet, but I know without a shadow of a doubt, our very own Pastor Pradeepan is just about 100% teacher, okay? He loves research. About half the apps on his phone are for recording information. No joke. And he will go off for a long time about the brand new app that's really good for taking notes, copying links to websites with great articles about brand new things, and you can save them to the app and then pull them up anytime you want. You can email them to your friends. You can snap them to your friends. You can tweet them at your friends. You can Facebook them to your friends. He is so pumped about research and new ideas, it's annoying. This guy will spend hours in his office researching. He'll have 20 pages, single space of notes to preach a 15-minute message because he loves research. This type of person, the teacher, will love to argue with you, not to be combative, but to learn something new. But this tends to be their downfall, is they tend to value information over relationship. They will get under your skin to see how much you truly believe in your own ideas. They will try to tear your thoughts down, and Pastor Ben's smiling because this is his life with Pastor Pradeepan. They will try to, in any way possible, get you to doubt what you've learned, but their goal is to solidify you and strengthen you in what you've learned, and their other goal is to realize that there's a brand new thing out there, and this person is willing to stand up for it at all costs. I think I'll check it out myself. And so many times, Pastor Pradeepan will challenge you and argue with you, and he will constantly play devil's advocate, but then the next day come back and talk about how much he loved learning and reading up on this brand new thing that you talked about. And you're like, whoa, you went home and you dove into it, and now you agree with me? And it's confusing because they were arguing with you for so long, and then they're on your side. It's because they really wanted to learn. Deep down inside, they wanted to learn so that one day could teach it to somebody else. You see? So the teacher, it's Pastor Pradeepan. Now, I told you that the enemy wants to get you to operate in the exact opposite of the gift that God has given you. And we all have heard Pastor Pradeepan's testimony, but if you haven't, when he was in middle school and high school, he didn't know the Lord. And he almost flunked out of school. He was a horrible student. He had horrible relationships with his teachers, with everybody he ever came in contact with, horrible relationship with his parents. Boy, he was just a couple letter grades away from not even being able to go back to school. And this is a guy who has been given a gift of teaching from the Lord, who loves to study, who loves to do research, who comes alive the more that they learn. And yet the enemy had attacked that very thing and caused him to believe that he was an idiot and that he was stupid. And boy, he was the most depressed person you ever met. He almost tried to kill himself numerous times. And then, he gets saved, he gives a heart to the Lord, and this gift starts to come alive in him. And sure enough, he went from a failing student to a straight-A student really quickly and easily. See how the enemy wants to attack that gift? That's why it's so important to understand what you're gifted in. All right, number 4, the motivational/grace gift of giving. Giving. This is rare. Okay? Now listen, those with the motivational gift of giving, they're the arms of the body. All right? They truly enjoy reaching out and giving, okay? They are excited by the prospect of blessing others. They desire to give quietly, in secret, but will also motivate others to give. They are alert to people's needs. They give cheerfully and always give the best that they can. Oh, man, who's my givers? Who's my givers? Yes, Alex, Rachel. Who's a giver? Michael Parks is a giver? Really? What? Never given me nothing. Serious. That's my perceiver coming out and being judgmental. I'm very sorry about that. I understand I'm nasty in that way. But if I'm open to being given gifts by you. I'm open to it. I perceive this. My little comments will motivate you to do that. Just perceiving that. So, listen, givers. Now, I had guessed Debbie Block was a giver, but I was wrong because I looked at her answer, her results, and she was not the highest in giving. So, man, but I believe Debbie Block is actually a good giver, and it must come out in a different motivation that you have. But the givers, man, they're great people. I love it. No, everybody loves a cheerful giver. And I love a cheerful giver, but it's rare. Now it was a very few people that raised their hands in giving. But here is the downfall of the giver. You ready? The enemy will try to get you to use your gift of giving, not to bless others, but to fill a need in your own life by making people love you. Ah, givers. So weak, givers. But they are. They're very weak. They're very weak in that area of love and affection. And what happens is instead of giving just to give, and instead of giving in secret, which is how the motivation should be done, which is how God has really instilled it in you, they give to be praised. Right? They give to be loved. They give to be noticed. And here's what happens with the givers, is that if they're giving and they're not being noticed, they'll turn on you. And they'll get nasty. And the exact opposite will come out of them. Instead of giving, they'll start to destroy you. But you see how the enemy likes to work that? You recognize that? So important to understand what your gift is, and when you don't operate it, how evil we become. And how destructive, not only to other people, but we start to destroy ourselves on the inside. And so givers, the more you give in secret without recognition, the greater you'll come alive. The more happy you'll be. The more blessed you'll feel. And this is what you need to do, givers. You actually need to get a little organized with your income. Set aside maybe a small percentage of your check every week just so you can give it away. But that's truly one of the best ways for you givers to operate. And it tends to keep you structured. And it tends to give you some guidelines so that your giving doesn't become all about you, but it will stay and hopefully stay about other people. Givers. All right, number 5, encouragers. You're my encouragement people. So those, they're already encouraging me. Thank you. So where are my encouragers at? Let me feel love. I'm coming alive. All right. Those with the motivational gift of encouragement are the mouth of the body. Your tongue is a pure evil at times, though. You nasty little encouragers, you. Right? Well, how much does the Bible warn us about our tongue? Just read James. So listen, here we go. They are the mouth of the body. Like cheerleaders, they encourage other believers and are motivated by a desire to see people grow and mature in the Lord. They are practical and positive, and they seek positive responses. So where are my encouragers at? Oh, thank you. Woo! I really like you guys. You really make me better. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. You guys both are encouragers? And you're married? Oh, you can. I can only imagine how your conversations go at night as you lay in bed together. Oh, you're the best. You're the best. Oh. That's not how me and my wife talk at night. I'm like, shh, I'm trying to sleep. Can't you perceive I need rest? That's hilarious. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. Oh man, the encouragers love to fix things and make the world a happier place. So Pastor Ben's an encourager. I just learned that. Debbie's an encourager. So congratulations, you encouragers. You are amazing. I mean, you make all of us feel better, and when we don't feel better, you want us to feel better. That's an amazing thing. But listen, you're the mouth. And the mouth is like the rudder of a ship. Right? Doesn't the Bible say that? The tongue is the rudder of a ship. It's so small, but it can navigate a huge boat. Boy, you could turn the boat in the wrong direction. You can turn the boat. in the wrong direction. And I love that they compared the encouragers to cheerleaders. And what is it about cheerleaders? Anytime you're watching a movie, the cheerleaders are the nastiest, just right? Your cheerleaders, the mean girls are the cheerleaders. You know, the really strong clique that wants to, they think it's funny to hurt other people. Those are your cheerleaders. That's kind of the thing with the encouragers, is they can find each other and they're happy to be together. But boy, their encouragement can slide into a real bad system and really bad rhythm. And instead of encouraging, which is how you come alive and what you feel good, you originally maybe became a cheerleader because you realized that this made you come alive, and then you got caught up in a really bad, cliquey, gossipy, weird thing with this group, and you didn't know how to get out of it because now you're part of a team, and so you want to go with the flow because you want people to be happy, and you find yourself operating in the opposite, and you find yourself in a dark place, not happy with yourself. You know, if you're an actual encourager and you haven't been living this way, if you haven't been living a lifestyle of encouraging others, you yourself don't feel very good. You don't feel happy. And when you don't feel happy, then you're not really motivated to be encouraging, and it can really spiral down. So encouragers, be very aware that the more you encourage, the better you feel. The more you make others happier, the more happier and blessed that you are. This is a gift from God, and the more you can operate in it, the better you are. Isn't this great? Isn't this great? So recognize the enemy's attempts to attack you in this. Recognize the enemy's attempts. Number 6, we've got people, we call this one the ruler, or we also can call it the administration/leadership. Ruler. Scary. Here we go. Those with the motivational gift of leadership are the head of the body. They have the ability to see the overall picture and set long-term goals. They are good organizers and find efficient ways of getting work done. Although they may not seek leadership, they will assume it when no leader is available, which is scary. It can be great, and it can be terrifying too. Hillary Clinton is this. Here we go. They receive fulfillment when others come together to complete a task. The ruler is intuitive, which enables the ruler to look ahead for possibilities and dangers. So this is Rachel Jennings. She's a ruler. This is my wife, Jen. She's got this as her big gift. And if your motivation, being a ruler, your original motivation for getting involved in something will be good. You'll be very good. You'll say, I'm going to be class president because I want to get things done. But what can happen is that you will, because your natural tendency is to be ruler, you'll most likely get the position you go for as leader, president, or head of the class, president of the class, head of your club. You'll most likely get it because you're ruler, and that's your natural tendency, it's your gift from God. But what can happen is that you can use your power to wreak havoc and to get your own selfish agendas done. So you can see the big picture, which is great. But if your big picture is evil, you will do lots of damage. You'll lie and manipulate, steal, kill, destroy, which are characteristics of the devil. And just to get the end result that you have seen all along. Oh, but if you operate in this gift for God, you are highly effective in the church, highly effective in the kingdom. You can gather not just large crowds, but get the large crowd moving in the right direction to gather even larger crowds. Very gifted. This is the most unique gift out of all of them. So if you're a ruler, raise your hand. Raise your hand. Okay. This is, let me see. Okay, this is the most unique gift. All right? It's very similar to the perceiver, but a little bit different. You and the perceiver can see things like how to get to the end and how to get there, but the perceiver will paint with a broad brush to tell the crowd how to get there. So I'm the perceiver, so I say, hey, we're going to fill the Coliseum, every seat, and I'll talk about how it's going to take love, and it's going to take initiative, and it's going to take a lot of work. I'll paint broad brushstrokes to get there. But you rulers, you will get very detailed about how to get there. Little bit, same thing, but different ways of getting there. The rulers will sit down and list out 26 steps on how to fill the Coliseum with people. But the perceiver would say, no, we need 7 values. Broad brushstrokes, 7 values to get there. Love, joy. We need love in the house. We need joy in the house. That sounds like me, right? So but the rulers be a little bit different, but they're really gifted, but they're unique. All right, last one, mercy. Mercy. Those with the motivational gift of mercy are the heart of the body. They easily sense joy or distress in other people and are sensitive to feelings and needs. They're attracted to, and patient with people in need. Usually you'll marry somebody because they have a need. That's a good thing, but also can you see the bad in that, right? There you go. Here we go. They are attracted to and patient with people in need, motivated by a desire to see people healed of hurts. They are truly meek in nature and avoid firmness. They feel that sympathizing with others is a valuable use of their time. And who are my mercy people at? Yeah, my Rachel Moore, super mercy. Okay, so mercy people, amazing gift that you have. This is my lowest. I scored 12%. Doesn't mean I'm bad. That's what it is. Not a gift from God, okay? Talk to him, not me. But mercy people, very, very, very amazing, your heart for people. But here's what can happen, is you can get caught up in somebody's story and in somebody's life, and you'll get so focused on that person that you will neglect other needs around you that are very important, like your job, schoolwork. You'll neglect more important relationships. So maybe your gift of mercy and some distant friend you had in middle school, and you're in your mid-20s now, some distant friend from middle school just posted something on Facebook about a tragic situation that just happened. You will drop everything to go figure out what's going on with that person. So maybe you're in the middle of cooking dinner for your family. You'll literally stop all that to go help because you'll come alive in that. But you've neglected something, right? So mercy people, there's goods and bads in all these, right? And you mercy people are amazing. I'll read you another verse, and then we'll close here in just a minute. Romans 12, 1-5, it says this. And so, dear brothers and sisters, I plead with you to give your bodies to God because of all he has done for you. Let them be a living and holy sacrifice, the kind he'll find acceptable. This is truly the way to worship him. Don't copy the behaviors and customs of this world, but let God transform you into a new person by changing the way you think. Then you will learn to know God's will for you, which is good and pleasing and perfect. Because of the privilege and authority God has given me, I give each of you this warning. Don't think you're better than you really are. Be honest in your evaluation of yourselves, measuring yourselves by the faith God has given us. Just as our bodies have many parts, and each part has a special function, so it is with Christ's body. We are many parts of one body, and we all belong to each other. 4 things here. Why are these gifts important? Let's stand to our feet. Really quickly with these 4 things. I don't even have any subpoints with these, so don't worry. Why are these gifts important? Number 1, these gifts glorify God and end up being a tremendous witness to him to the people in your life. Your gifting is one of your greatest ways to witness to the people around you. It brings glory to God. Number 2, why are these gifts important? Is these gifts, which you might have been completely unaware of up until right now, are the motivating forces in our lives. They're the motivating forces in our lives. And the enemy wants to attack this. So you perceivers out there, you have a sense that something isn't quite right. That's a gift from God. Don't shy away from that. Operate in it. But the enemy wants you to just fill you with doubt. Fill you with doubt about that. Number 3, why are these gifts important? Unless they are channeled properly, you will feel very frustrated with your life. Okay? Number 4, why are these gifts important? Once we discover them, we discover a tremendous potential for happiness. Isn't that awesome? So let's just worship. Let's thank God.